Hi everyone and welcome to Sailing Tellus. And before we begin, this video is not a sailing video. It's about the trip where sailing and shop Tellus were born. Hello, and our trip to Colombia starts with a short stop in Paris. As we arrived in the morning, we had only one day in Paris, so we had quick lunch, walked streets, visited some museums, met some friends for dinner, and we were ready for our next flight to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, let's do it.
Fort Lauderdale.
One more to go.
Huh?
One more to go.
One more to go. 3 hours and we're in Colombia.
For flight 8592 Cartagena and Bogota. At this time of being here, please make your way to the gate either and your passport.
And after a 3-hour flight, we finally arrived in beautiful town Cartagena, met our friends and dove straight into this beautiful town's vibes.
Para grabación con el tele que iPhone no le vaya del estómago, venderle pues let's go with my city welcome, porque you are the boss, you got more money than Donald Trump.
Melanie texted, today will be special. I need you guys with best energies. Take easy because later, wow. Bottles, Patron Silver. How many bottles do you want? Sorry, my English is bad.
Oh God.
I hope you're ready.
Oh man.
So that's what we did. We checked in one boutique hotel Las Caretas and got ready for Manolo's birthday. We wanted to be punctual and arrived on time while all the other people were 2 hours late. But we couldn't complain as the view from the rooftop terrace was just breathtaking. And once everybody arrived, we got that party started.
Happy birthday to you.
As we wanted to see Colombia as much as we can in such a short time, the next day it was time to pack and go to Tayrona Park, which is located in northeast of Colombia. It took us half a day to find a car, as we were 3 couples, but we did find one guy that agreed to spend 3 days with us. At this point, we were happy that we had only our backpacks, as even with the one backpack per person, we had to play a puzzle game to fit everything in the car. Our trip took around 3 hours, but in the middle of the road we decided to take a bite in one fisherman village.
Welcome. We are in the middle of nowhere and in Colombia. About to sit by the water with one of the most beautiful views. Cool. Boom. A little bit tired.
No, I'm good now. It's just that fucking 1,500 miles an hour, you know? It's quick. When you're hungover. Ooh. But I think you got it out of me. I'm good now.
After our bellies were full, we continued with our trip, and not so long after, we started seeing hills of Santa Marta, and from there we knew it would take around 1 hour to reach our destination. In the morning, it was time to check out where we stay. This hotel does not provide any air conditioning or hot shower, but since they keep water tanks on top of the roof, water gets heated with the sun, so in the evening you can take warm shower. Hotel staff, which by the way is so welcoming and nice, arrives only in the morning to make breakfast, clean the rooms, and in the evening, once the dinner is done, everybody go home. Everybody sits at the same table for breakfast and lunch, and once staff leave, you can take everything what you want from the fridge to drink and just write what you take. Since the morning was cloudy, we decided to go see waterfalls that were just nearby. This time we were 8 people in the car plus the driver. Passing through amazing banana plantations made us stop to buy some fresh fruit for the hike.
Very sweet.
This is real bananas.
They are good, huh?
Some real banana.
Guess how much one of these things is? €1. 3,000 pesos. One is.
Oh yeah.
So they work together, the farmers and the Indians. But a certain farmers take you to a place, and then Indians take you from there, and they share the profits.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's go crash the wedding.
Why we bought bananas when we can just, find some? Oh. You think for a banana?
Say the people
But you
Say
can build stuff out
hair
of
of wishes.
it. Giant.
Rooster.
Giant. It's huge. Biggest chicken I've ever seen. Or rooster I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not from Kansas.
And after 20 or 30 minutes walk, we were finally swimming in the natural spring waterfalls. After the waterfalls, it was not too late, so we decided to go to the village where all the Lost City treks start. Lost City Trek is the 46-kilometer hike through the jungles, hills, river valleys of Sierra Nevada. And at the end of the hike, you reach the Lost City, which is believed to be founded in 800 CE, but it was discovered only in 1972. Members of local tribes, they say that the city that they call Tayrona, I hope I pronounced it correctly, was the heart of the network of all the villages. We haven't heard of this city before coming to Colombia, so it was a pity because we would definitely have done it. But since we weren't really prepared for it, we decided to postpone it to the next time we come back, and hopefully with the sailing boat. So it took us 1 hour jungle road drive to get to the first village, and me and Lena went for a walk and met few local kids, and we actually got a chance to go next to where they live. Some of them did not like the company, and once we came near, they went inside as we didn't want to disturb any longer. We left after a few minutes of staying there, and it was time to get back to our hotel. If you do the Lost City Trek, you get to spend much more time with the local tribes, and you get to learn from them, take their experience and their view of life, which I think is definitely worth doing. Next day, we decided to enjoy the hotel and its surroundings, as it's located next to Tayrona National Park, which we did not have a chance to visit as it was closed for a yearly holiday, in order to give a break to the park. During this time, local tribes send energies of gratitude and love to Mother Earth. They also do payments on the secret sites for the recovery of the environment and cultural healing of the territory. I love the idea that the government respect that, and I think we should all take an example. Also in 2020, park will be closed 4 times in case you want to visit. But anyhow, visiting the park was really unnecessary since even surroundings around the park has so much to offer. Steve found a free and naturally made water slide. We hang out on the beach, had a swim, and seriously enjoyed Colombia to the fullest. Actually, this is the place where me and Steve started to talk about the idea of going around the world on the boat. Little did we know that 1 month after we will go and do the sailing training. Next day we said goodbye to this beautiful place and headed to Taganga for the last night for Lena and Sean in Colombia. Came back to Cartagena for some salsa night. And left next morning to Islas Barbu. We left Cartagena for 3 days to go to Isla Barbu, to hotel. This Islas.
Oh, look, one cow.
The what? Isla Barbu, located just off the coast of Cartagena, and took us around 1 hour to arrive. We have chosen to stay in the Hotel Las Islas that has a huge territory and offers only private bungalows, either overlooking the sea or jungle tree house type of bungalows. There is also one huge private villa and a floating catamaran for a really remote vacation. There were 3 restaurants in the hotel, and since the distances were not so near, so you could call a golf cart to take you there, or they provide bikes for each room and you can use them as a transportation. This hotel was built in the environmentally cautious manner, and they claim that not even one tree was destroyed while building it. For the next 2 days, we stayed in this beautiful island, took a boat ride to the local fisherman's village, and enjoyed beautiful sunsets straight from our bed. As it was time to go back to Cartagena, we visited the aviary park, which have 190 species of birds from all over Colombia and Latin America. I usually do not like any sort of zoo parks or aquariums, but this park, they say they provide the environment for the birds that is very similar to their natural habitat. And I really wanted to see flamingos and macaw parrots, as I used to own one when I lived in Lithuania. Our last week in Colombia we spent in Cartagena. In a week I think we changed 3 hotels, so everyone traveling there I suggest to book your hotels really in advance in case you don't want to be like us. Okay, so 2 weeks in Cartagena. Today is February 15 and we are officially homeless. We might sleep here tonight next to Manolo's apartment. After those 3 weeks in Colombia, we can definitely say that is one of the places that you cannot get enough of, and there is really too much to see, and 3 weeks, it's too little time. At the beginning of the trip, we did not really know what to expect, as you hear some stories about Colombia, and people actually believing those stories make you question if it's really safe. And really, there is nothing dangerous about it. Of course, it depends where you go and how you act. As like in any place in the world, there are territories that you do not go showing off your newest iPhone or designer clothes. So this rule does not apply only in Colombia, it applies everywhere in the world. Cartagena, the most beautiful and colorful city that I've ever seen, and not to mention how warm and positive local people are. The city is so alive, clean with amazing architecture and all the hotels and restaurants that offer cuisines from all over the world, crazy interior and rooftop pools. You can spend 2 weeks in Cartagena and still find streets that you haven't visited yet. Our last stop in Colombia before taking a flight to Mexico was Bogota. I wish we had more time to spend there, but we took a quick tour before the flight and visited only central areas and some galleries, and then took a flight to Cancun, Mexico. Leaving Colombia. Bye bye. Next time. Mexico. Here we come. We landed in Cancun and went straight to Playa del Carmen. We decided not to stay in Cancun as we have been there a few years ago and we really wanted to see Playa del Carmen and Tulum with all the famous Maya ruins and cenotes. For the first time during our traveling career, we stayed in a half-board hotel as that was the only type we could find at the beachfront. The hotel was okay. We had to change the rooms at the first night because it smelled very bad. It was pretty crowded, even with the big facilities that they offered. The next day, our friend Rodrigo took us to cenote that was just next to Playa del Carmen, and it was amazing. As we were there after closing hours, there were not many people, and the beauty of these natural underground rivers is just that is out of this world. In the evening, we went to the main street of the city just to find that we did not feel as we were in Mexico anymore. Bars playing global hits, same shopping brands and same food chains as where we live. It was crowded, so instead of staying another 2 nights, we decided to leave the next day. Before going to Tulum, I have heard so much things about this place. Tulum has everything to offer, from 92 known Mayan ruins, world's largest underground river, second largest reef system, more than 300 sunny days, 1,000 species that live there, endless jungle with eco-hotels and yogi lifestyle. As we were coming from Colombia, we started our stay in the Tulum in villa that was previously owned by Pablo Escobar, Casa Malca. The hotels and the rooms were amazing and interesting at the same time. Lots of concrete mixed with beach vibe. Room was spacious, and beach was the place where you want to stay all day. The only thing is that I do not think that they need to use air conditioning when you have such big windows in the room. It took us the whole day to actually unfreeze the room. Next up was the famous Azulec Hotel that I would recommend to everyone because it's something so different that you have to try it at least once. I mostly like the idea of how cautious they are about the environment, starting with no Wi-Fi in the rooms, no artificial light, no shower, no paper in the toilet, no telephone in the room, and finally, no air conditioning. Something that really shows people that they are in the jungle and you can expect same things as you have it in your own home. Otherwise, you don't have to travel. Anyhow, on the last day of our stay in Tulum, we took a tour to visit Coba, have a local ritual, and visit one remote cenote. I think it was my favorite part of Mexican trip, learning about great astrologists Mayans going to up Coba ruins, having this cleansing ritual in the middle of the jungle. That was experience that you don't forget. Tulum, as everybody see it as paradise, was actually a place where I just knew that I need to be more cautious about my consumption and how world is changing so fast, how people are destroying it and not even realizing. Tulum, compared to Tayrona Park, did not have a yearly holiday to regenerate, and it's open all year long. Businesses are building more and more hotels. 90 of them put their wastewater underground, therefore, that's why there are so many algae on the beach. You can see the beach while going through the Tulum's hotel area as one. There are cars parked on the both sides of little street, and two, there is basically no more free space left as there is a hotel after the hotel. Majority of hotels using generators to run power and use roughly 9 million liters of gasoline yearly just so people can have air conditioning in the jungle. Sounds ridiculous to me. That is where we decided that we need to change our life and go more to zero waste, and that is the place where we understood that we need to travel the world now before it's not too late. So basically this trip was the start of Tellus life.